With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening and welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, SwiftMotorSports, RB RIGS Custom Computers, Xfinity Series heads off to Watkins Glen International Raceway for race number 5 here in season number 2. How you doing? How you feeling? Race fans, as always, Darkside Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from the track here tonight, just outside of the Finger Lakes area here in upstate New York. Very beautiful countryside up there, woodlands, a lot of vineyards around that area as well, but we'll get to some of that a little bit later on through the race. How you doing? How you feeling? Let's give you some of your official business here tonight, very early here, as drivers already qualifying 3 minutes into tonight's 5-minute qualifying session. There you see your championship standings coming into tonight's race. Tommy Haynes leads the points by just 2 points over Justin Gann right there in that second spot. John Wimbish, your last driver inside the top 3 in your championship standings, gonna roll through it rather quickly here tonight, as we do want to give you some of that qualifying information, and we'll go ahead and run some of that down on screen for you right there. Only 9 drivers with the time lap here so far, is inching in on just about a minute and 20 seconds left here in this qualifying session, and these drivers will have to strap themselves in and get ready to turn left and right here tonight at Watkins Glen. That's right, we're here for the Glen 40 laps around this beautiful raceway. Been around for quite a long time. First real race here back in 1948. Cup car NASCAR did not get here until about 1957 or so. Formula One also joined in the action very early before parting ways with the U.S.-based track here. And now it is what it is, a great racing facility. You can guarantee it's sold out year in, year out. 10 drivers now on your speed charts. Quick time for Michael Mueller. Right now, 1:14.79 is that quick time, and he is about a half a second faster than the drivers around him. Andrew Mraz, Austin Hill right there, rounding out your top 3 drivers here in qualifying. And as we click off these final few seconds here in qualifying, drivers going to go ahead and hit the drivers meeting real quick. Strap into the cockpits of these Xfinity machines and get ready to turn 40 laps here at the Glen. It's going to be fast and furious. No cautions here. Local cautions, road course rules. So this one is going to be lightning quick, ladies and gentlemen. Going to have to keep up with the timing and scoring an awful lot here tonight. With all that being said, looks like qualifying is in the books. Michael Mueller going to walk away with your pole position here tonight for the Glen 40 in the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series, brought to you by Swift Motorsports. With that being said, race fans, we're going to head down trackside for your national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
And back trackside as the field begins to make their way to the starting grid. Few drivers already out there lining up. We've got a few yet to hit your starting grid. Looks like we have had quite a few drivers make the field here tonight. Over 20 Xfinity drivers out here vying for the race win here tonight at Watkins Glen. The Glen 44 Swift Motorsports season number 2, race number 5 here, already clicking off towards the quarter way through the season here. So the Glen going to be a very pivotal race for a lot of drivers that may find themselves a little bit further through the field or down in the points. Going to have a good run here, and it looks like a few drivers making an appearance at the front. Michael Mueller taking your pole position here tonight. Andrew Mraz right there outside pole. So both of those drivers doing a heck of a job here in the qualifying session tonight. And it does sound like indeed we're ready to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Glen 40. Here from Watkins Glen International Raceway, starting inside row number 1, the 51 of Michael Mueller. Slotted in just to his outside, the 28 of Andrew Mraz. Row number 2 here tonight, Austin Hill, followed by Mike Franklin. Row number 3, the 4 of Jim Ott, and the 5 of Lee Staples. Starting inside row number 4, the 66 of Edward Bray. John Wimbish in the 56, going to line up right there in the 8th position. KC Duncan starting in 9th, rounding out your top 10 for tonight's race, the Glen 40 here for Swift Motorsports. Gary Wells puts his 24 right there in that 10th spot, starting inside row number 6 here tonight, the 10 of David Cameron. Just to his outside, the 1 of John Furness. Inside row number 7, the 21 of Brandon Fries, in the 44 of Jason Ayerson. Nigel Christensen will round out your top 15, and Tommy Haynes going to start right there to his outside in the 16th spot. Row number 9 here tonight, the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. and Don Kidder. Nick Hunt, Jonathan Cogswell round out your top 20. Michael Atkins Jr. back in 21st. Terry Kahn sitting right there in 22nd. And that's gonna do it for your starting lineup here tonight for the Glen 40 from Watkins Glen International Raceway right here in Swift Motorsports. That's right, race fans. Glad you could join us. Glad you could be here tonight. As always, if you haven't, go ahead and throw these drivers a thumbs up. I'm sure you're going to like what you see here tonight. Some great road course racers all throughout this field, and we're going to see these drivers fire it up around all 7 to 10 turns, depending on how you count them. I like to say there's 10 because I count that bus stop chicane as 3 turns. Apparently, iRacing and NASCAR, they only like 7 turns. So, depending on how you count, it is what it is. We'll continue to keep it all straight, though, as the field makes their way into turn. We'll just stick with mine into turn number. We'll stick with mine because I'm right. You know what I mean? Coming into the final turn, pace car getting ready to duck off. We'll set this thing off to go green flag racing for the first time here tonight from Watkins Glen in the Glen 40. Michael Mueller brings the field to the starting line. Green flag flies here tonight from Watkins Glen International Raceway in the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series, and already making a good move. Mueller sets himself up to come right through that first corner, and there you see we'll back up just a little bit, try to give you a little bit more of these drivers as they make these very first few crucial laps all packed up with each other. There you see Lee Staples falling off the pace, falling back just a little bit from Austin Hill. We've got drivers battling just a little bit further behind Back here around the 10th spot, there you can see them all strung out, all lined up. Small side-by-side battle in through the bus stop chicane here. Your top two in through cleanly. Looks like the rest of the field going to make their way through this as well without any issues. Race leader already off of the carousel, going back into turn number 9. Andrew Mraz right there trying to hound him down, but not able to get to him just yet. No issues, no problems for anybody on lap number 1, so a clean lap number 1. And now to the inside, Nick Hunt makes a pass on Nigel Christensen. John Furness also passed Jim Ott for that last spot inside the top 5. And as the field now makes the laps, we'll go ahead and begin to show you some of that timing and scoring, the intervals, the gaps between all of these drivers. Your top 2 have stepped away from Austin Hill. Hill back about 2 seconds behind your top 2 race car drivers as they make their way up through the S's here. And there you see that 16 of Austin Hill make his way through. Still got some battles back here. Still some pretty close gaps back behind about the 10th spot or so. Gary Wells, Casey Duncan, Jason Harrison round out your top 10. Looking for some more battles on the track for you. John Wimbish right here, slowly beginning to close in on Jim Ott. And actually making his way by Jim Ott there. Lee Staples just in front of Wimbish now in that 5th spot. As Ott beginning to fall through the field here early on lap number 2. Mike Franklin looks like he may have had some trouble. Looks like he may have missed the start here for tonight's race. Mike Franklin already behind the 8 ball, and yes indeed, that's exactly what it looks like, missing the start of tonight's race. And he is already 1.5 minutes behind your race leader, and that's just, I believe, 1 lap down. So already one driver 1 lap down here as we look through the timing and scoring. Still trying to see if we find anybody. There you see David Cameron and Nick Hunt. They're battling for spots on the track. Drivers beginning to get a little bit stretched out here early on lap number 3 out of the 40 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. David Cameron looking to get up through the S's and see if he can't run down Nigel Christensen, work his way a little bit further up inside that top 20. While back at the front of the field, I tell you what, let's go back to this battle right here between Gary Wells, Casey Duncan, Jason Harrison, all lined up nose to tail. There you see Michael Atkins Jr. all over the rear end of Jason Harrison, trying to make a pass now, looking to the inside, coming back into turn number 9. Nope, gonna slot back in behind him. Harrison keeping the spot for the moment right in front of Harrison, though. You've got Casey Duncan looking to the inside of Gary Wells. Wells way up the track. He's going to get freight trained here. Here comes Harrison looking to the inside. He'll be there by the time they get to turn number 1. Harrison laid on the braking hard into the corner. He'll take that spot away from Wells, and all round after locking the brakes up, Casey Duncan. There you see him stopped right there. Have to get it back going. Still struggling to get that car headed back on track. Drivers continue to make their way by him. And oh my goodness, Jason Harrison, Edward Bray, John Wimbish, all having a little bit of a moment right there. That was pretty close for all of those drivers. Battle right here still between the 66 of Edward Bray and John Wimbish. And it looks like Stephen Ayers Jr. has had an issue, has went off track, came back on, headed back down to pit road. So I tell you what, let's take a look, see what happened to. Let's see what happened here to Stephen Ayers Jr. There you see him, up over those rumble strips and hard into that Armco Safer barrier. That's going to leave a mark for sure. Back up with the battle that we were watching previous. Edward Bray continues to try to track down John Wimbish. There you see that very familiar Cheerwine 56 holding down the 7th spot right now. Nothing going on at the front of the field. Michael Mueller continues to lead tonight's race. There you see him right there. Nobody really close to him 1.1 second advantage as he makes his way down the back stretch, heading in towards the bus stop chicane. Car getting a little bit upset running over those rumble strips. There's drivers going to have to be careful. Car can get very upset coming out of that final turn. If you run the rumble strips a little too much, it'll kick the car sideways as you retransition into that right-hand carousel turn. The very long sweeping carousel here at Watkins Glen, in the 51, navigating all the technical corners very, very easily here, making it look like a breeze right now. Race lead still 1.1 second advantage for Michael Mueller. Andrew Mraz still running in that second spot. John Furness has made his way by Austin Hill. There you see Hill back in the fourth spot. Furness breaking into the podium spots. There you see that Havoline machine looking nice and clean right there, coming through turn number 1, now up through the S's, turns 2, 3, and 4. Stepping away with ease on Austin Hill. Hill falling back already 1.7 seconds, another 5 seconds back to get to your 5th place runner. There you see Lee Staples just now making his way up through those S's and down the backstretch, heading towards the bus stop. Jim Ott very close. Here comes Ott, and we've got some more drivers battling Tommy Haynes. Let's go back to this one right here. Haynes working his way up onto the back end of the 24 of Gary Wells. Wells under fire, a little bit of a connection issue. Looks like some blinking right there, but nonetheless sticking with it, staying strong on the gas. And that 17 Toyota Supra looking pretty clean out there right now, trying to hunt down Wells. And it looks like John Wimbish went off track. Casey Duncan with an issue. Brandon Freeze also having some trouble. We'll continue to watch this battle for just a brief moment. We'll head back, see what happened here. I tell you what, let's start this off. Let's see what happened to that 56 of John Wimbish. There you see John getting into, and just missing the corner there through the chicane. Going to have to slow up a little bit for blowing that corner. So Wimbish with just a little bit of an issue. No harm, no foul, really. Now we'll check in with the incident with Brandon Freeze. There you see Freeze just breaks loose there coming around turn number 9. Very easy to do if you get back on the throttle a little bit too soon. Those two incidents not really looking too bad, or car's not looking any worse for the wear. We'll go back to another incident on track. Jonathan Cogswell right here in the 27 machine, and it looks like he's going to go off track coming out of turn number 9. There you see it, very easy to carry the pace up over those rumble strips and out into that grass. And if you're not careful, that grass can just carry you over there to the kitty litter. That's right, the gravel traps will rejoin the race back live now as the 21 Ford Mustang machine makes his way into the carousel. Brandon Freeze tries to make his way back inside the top 15. Back towards the front of the field, closest battle. There you see 1 second separates Lee Staples, man on screen from the hard charging 4 of Jim Ott. Ott right there trying to see if he can't break his way inside of a top 5, see if he can't gain that one lost position. And looks like we've got some drivers with some issues. Nigel Christensen, let's see what happened here. Christensen having some trouble. Blowing the bus stop chicane right there was Christensen, trying to get it headed back in the right direction. And here comes the 10. That 10 of David Cameron forced off track. Could have ended up way worse than what it was. Very close call for both of those drivers, but that just lets you know how hard these drivers are pushing these RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series machines here at Watkins Glen International Raceway as we continue this run here tonight. Lap number 9 now underway out of the 40 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. That's right, no stage breaks here in Swift Motorsports. Good old-fashioned run what you brung all the way to the end. Side by side, there you see, looks like Staples making his way by the back marker. Jim Ott going to navigate his way through fairly easily. And Stephen Ayers Jr. well off the pace. The 62 machine has definitely seen some better days. Not really appreciating the Glenn's with raciness, let's just call it. As we continue to watch this battle unfold between Lee Staples and Jim Ott, looks like we've got another driver with some issues, John Wimbish. Let's see what happened here to Wimbish. Wimbish now with his second moment here. Coming through turn number 1. Oh, and that's not going to be good. Significant impact with that tire barrier. He's able to correct it, get it headed back in the right direction without losing too much time or too much ground. Still losing a pretty good bit, though. Looks like Lee Staples, Jim Ott, they make their way by David Cameron now. And already, race fans, we started tonight's race with 21 drivers, and we have got just 18 drivers remaining on the lead lap. Very torrent pace being laid down here tonight at the front of the field by this man right there, the fast 51 of Michael Mueller. Mueller still enjoys a 2.5 second race advantage over Andrew Mraz. Mraz now having to look in that rear view mirror, having to think about his corner setups because John Furness closing in. He is going to be there. He is going to be in striking distance. And, you know, big time wiggle there, getting back on the gas by Mraz. That's going to lose him some time. And Furness going to be right there by the time they enter turn number 1. Not going to make a move just yet. And that's what it is here, race fans. When you're road course racing, you have to be very calculated about your moves. You've got to think 2-3 corners ahead, how you're going to set your car up to make that pass. If they go here, I go there. A very mental chess game here in road course racing and heavy 10 tops like these NASCAR Xfinity machines. Side by side. Oh, this may not go well for these two drivers. Furness indeed losing some time. And the 28's going to go around, pushing it to the limit, going through the bus stop. Austin Hill going to make his way through. Andrew Mraz losing a lot of ground there after gassing it up, looping it through the bus stop. After him and John Furness went side by side into that first right-hander in the bus stop. Furness blowing part of it. Well, Mraz blowing the other part of it all at the same time. Mraz with the short end of the stick. He'll drop 2 spots back into the 4th spot. Gonna look back here with this battle on the track. There you see Edward Bray, Michael Atkins Jr. They're battling for a spot just outside your top 5 for the 7th position. There you see Michael Atkins Jr. He'll take that spot away from Edward Bray, and Bray gonna fall into the clutches of Jason Ayerson here very soon, and Andrew Mraz gonna bring his Ford Mustang down to pit road for some service, maybe some fuel here, and very well could be. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Oh, whoa. That was, wow. We'll take one more look at it here. And just on the brakes and into the back of the 41, and ooh, that is definitely a rough one to watch there. We'll take one more look at this. Oh, and there you see that hard contact and just flipping that 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. That was some hard impact. Ooh, my goodness. That is a very tough spot to be in right there. As your top 2 drivers now make their way back down the front stretch track clean and clear. Mueller still out to a now 5-second race advantage over John Furness. Austin Hill slotted in the third spot. There you see him coming out of turn number 1. He'll make his way up through this uphill section of the speedway. We'll go back now to the driver sitting in the 14th spot, Mike Franklin, starting on pit road, missing the start, but he has been able to drive his way up through the field, now sitting in the 14th position and hounding some of the drivers just in front of him. And here you see yet another driver very fast coming up through the field. That 28 has got some fresh tires, and he is looking to bring that machine towards the front of the field. Ford Mustang piloted by Andrew Mraz on the move. 3 Xfinity machines lined up nose to tail coming up through the uphill S section of the raceway. Let's see what Mraz does. Does he look to the inside, look to outbrake these drivers? Yes, he does, inside of Don Kidder. He's going to have that spot. Kidder, or actually, I apologize, Kidder is in race control. That's the 00 of Nick Hunt. Caught the 0 on the side and thought it was the 03, but nah. That's Nick Hunt. Now trying to take a spot away from Gary Wells, and that's going to be pretty easy there. The fresh tires on Mraz's Ford Mustang, just way superior at this point in time. And there you see the battered front end on that 66 of Edward Bray. Bray hard into the back end of Michael Atkins Jr. That sent Jr. into the outside wall, flipping in the air and landing back on the track, now back behind pit wall. And Michael Atkins Jr. looks like he very well may be the first driver out of tonight's the Glen 40. We'll go back to this battle now. Here you see a few drivers lined up nose to tail. Nick Hunt, John Furness, John Wimbish, and Mike Franklin, all right here nose to tail. There you see Jonathan Cogswell. He comes into the corner. And Gary Wells, he's going to have to deal with Nick Hunt here very shortly. That 24 of Wells struggling a little bit, trying to make his way up inside the top 10. That spot being held by the damaged 66 of Edward Bray. So, and there you see Wells off track, skating through the grass. Very easy to do here, and that's going to put Nick Hunt now into the 11th spot. And Hunt will set his sights in now on Edward Bray, back towards the top 5. We've got a battle underway. Tommy Haynes, Jason Ayerson, they're battling for a 6th and 7th on track. Jim Ott quite a bit of a ways out in front of these drivers, so your top 5 have absolutely separated themselves from the field. But the man at the front, Michael Mueller, stepping away from everybody side by side. Once again, here comes Mraz making the pass on Jason Ayerson. Keep in mind, race fans, Mraz already down onto pit road after spinning through the bus stop chicane. He came and got some 4 fresh tires, and he is set to go to the end of tonight's race because we are already knocking on the door of the halfway point. Only 25 laps left to go here tonight from Watkins Glen International Raceway here in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, just south of Lake Seneca in the Rolling Vineyards and Woodlands region. Very beautiful region up there, very beautiful area. If you've ever had the opportunity to get into upstate New York, very beautiful place up there. Off track back there a little bit. Looks like that was Nick Hunt struggling going over into the runoff area And actually, I believe that may have been Casey Duncan that had those issues. And no. Dave, you were right. You were right. Go back to this battle right here. Lee Staples, Jim Ott. That's a battle for 4th and 5th on the track. Ott hounding Lee Staples right now as we continue around the track here tonight. The Glen 40 underway. A little bit of a overhead camera shot for you here tonight. And I tell you what, there you see Lee Staples coming to pit road. Jim Ott gonna stay out on track. And it does indeed look like most of these drivers trying to split this thing up into 2 halves with their pit stops. But I wonder where this man right here is going to end up. Where will Andrew Mraz end up shaking out here tonight? Where will that 28 machine come out after the green flag pit stops all cycle through? We'll have to wait and see. And up at the front of the field, man, I tell you, some hard racing as that 51 of Michael Mueller. He has been run down, making up a ton of time. We'll have to take a look through our timing and scoring here, see if we see anything happening to our race leader, and it doesn't look like he's had any off-track incidents, any problems. So just absolutely killing it right now. 3/10 faster that last time by on the last lap. John Furness, he is tracking down Michael Mueller, who took the pole for tonight's race and has led the entire race so far here tonight. But now he's got himself a battle. That one Havoline machine closing in. Furness looking for the front. Not only is this a battle for the race lead, but this is the closest battle on track as your top 2 make their way into some back markers. The 18 of Casey Duncan going to go up the hill, out of the way, outside lane here on in the carousel. Not anything to bat your eyes about. It can be pretty rough to try to run that line right there. Both of these drivers making their way back into turn number 9, going to set themselves up for a hard right-hander. And there you see a driver off track. Nigel Christensen having some issues down on the inside of turn number 10. And it does look like Christensen going to bring his machine to pit road. We'll head through the field, do a little bit of house cleaning here tonight as we are knocking on the door of that halfway point here tonight for the Glen 40 and the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series, brought to you by SwiftMotorSports. 21 drivers took to tonight's starting grid. We have still got 18 drivers out there on track, 13 drivers still remaining on the lead lap. Jonathan Cogswell is the last driver on the lead lap in his 27 machine, up 7 spots from where he started tonight's race. But sitting right where he started, Michael Mueller still continues to lead tonight's race. John Furness up 10 spots from where he started, all the way back in the 12th spot, now running in the 2nd position and looking to take one more on the track. And when will these drivers hit pit road? Will Furness hit pit road first and try to force Mueller to get as much as he can on that lap that he's out there by himself? And no, looks like Mueller going to break for pit road. Here comes Furness to pit road. That strategy going to keep those 2 drivers nose to tail. And when will Hill pit? Looks like Hill going to bring it to pit road this time by. We'll jump back a little further in the field as your top 3 have hit pit road right at the halfway point here in tonight's the Glen 40 for RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you've been looking to drive it, if you've been looking to wreck it, I promise you they've got tons of different sports cars, tons of different open wheel cars, as well as the heavy NASCAR 10 tops, as my good Aussie Connection buddies like to call it, the good heavy 10 tops. They've got it all, and trust me, it's a lot cheaper to buy them here and wreck them on here than it is anywhere else. These drivers right now, though, looking to keep it on the track, turn left and right tonight at the Glen 40. New race leader driver that has already been on and off pit road. Andrew Mraz now slotted in that top spot. Will jump out there with your race leader. And here, look at this. We're going to have a three-way battle for that top spot as John Furness beat Michael Mueller off of pit road. Mueller now in the third spot. This is the furthest he has been down through the field in much fresher tires. 8-lap fresher tires for John Furness, and Michael Mueller will throw the battle box up for you there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. And there you can see it, that battle for the top spot. The 28 of Mraz, the 1 of Furness. 3 wide out of the final corner. 3 wide coming out of the final corner here at the Glen. I have never seen that before. My goodness, how did they make that work? Mueller looking to the inside. 3 wide again. 3 wide once again coming through the S's, and no, Mueller gonna back out. Backing out of that 3 wide situation. Mueller heads back to the third spot, but not giving up the fight. John Furness still powering it down, and Mraz is getting loose, and oh my goodness, into your pole sitter. Michael Mueller into the wall hard. Oh, threading the needle there was Austin Hill. My goodness, let's watch this one more time. There you see the drivers making their way through the corner. A little bit of a bump. Up the hill he goes, getting loose and hard into Michael Mueller. Oh my goodness. One more time, we'll go from the onboard camera here. If we can't get that cockpit camera there, you can see it just getting loose. There's the impact, and that is a rough hit. Oh, that is it, and that was amazingly close for Austin Hill. Oh my goodness. We'll take a look here from Hill's vantage point from the cockpit as he's making his way up through the S's here. Tracks clear, tracks clear, tracks clear. Oh, what's that? What was? Oh my goodness, that was close. Whew. We'll rejoin the race back at the front of the field, though now that battle has went away. For that top spot, John Furness now enjoys a 7.6 second race advantage over Austin Hill. Lee Staples now in your final podium spot as we are past the halfway point. Only 19 laps remaining here tonight from the Glen. That's right, the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series fired it up here for race number 5 tonight in season number 2, and let's see if we may end up with a new race winner. And if it stays this way, if Furness can seal the deal here tonight, he'll be our 4th driver to victory lane in 5 races. Only Austin Hill, driver sitting in that second spot, has been to victory lane twice so far this season in the first 4 races. So Hill making his presence felt here in the Xfinity Series for Swift Motorsports. It's the RIGS Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Looking for a battle on track? Tell you what, we'll jump back to this one right here. Drivers making their way into turn number 9, head off into that final turn, number 10. There you can see him stacked up, nose to tail, the 44 of Jason Harrison. He's got the 00 of Nick Hunt, hunting him down, no pun intended, and the 33 of Terry Kahn, sitting just in front of them in his City Chevrolet Xfinity Camaro. Man, that thing looks good. Throwback days, huh? Looks like Days of Thunder out there. Drivers continue to put down a blistering pace here tonight, and it looks like Nigel Christensen was able to pass Jim Ott for a spot on the track. Ott way back through the field now, all the way back in the 17th position. So Ott has had some trouble. And indeed does look like he has had some trouble here tonight, looking for it. We'll see how bad this was for Ott. Doesn't look like it was too bad. Oh, and there's that and stuck in the Armco barrier. That was bad. Tough break there for the 4 auto owners. Machine piloted by Jim Ott. Had a great qualifying session, Ott did, but now slotted 13 spots back from where he started in the 18th position. Ott not having a good night. Still watching this battle unfold between Terry Kahn, Jason Ayerson, and Nick Hunt. That's a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th on the track. Another battle on track just in front of these drivers. Hair Tommy Haynes right here. You can see him in that 17 machine. He's got the wounded Andrew Mraz all over his rear deck lid. I'm not sure Mraz is going to be able to do anything with him. Just trying to hold on, trying to hang on, trying to salvage all he can after that hard impact with the outside Armco barrier. And Mraz, man, hanging it out. No front clipping on. He is hanging this thing out tonight. We'll jump back to this battle right here for position. Jason Ayerson in the 7th spot. Still trying to keep Nick Hunt behind him. Hunt's going to look to the inside. Ayerson going to give him that spot. And now Hunt will try to track down Terry Kahn. Kahn sitting in that 6th spot. There you can see him. Big time wiggle out of that final turn for Kahn. Not too many battles to speak of here tonight, so I tell you what, race fans, why don't we run down your running order as they are on the track here with just 15 laps remaining. We'll jump up front with your race leader, the one of John Furness. Back running in that 2nd spot, driver in the 16 Toyota Supra, Austin Hill. Inside the Chevy Camaro, sitting into 3rd position, Lee Staples, piloting that 5 into a good finish here tonight. Let's see if he can get that StepTire.com machine to round this thing out and finish out tonight's race in that podium spot. Back in the 4th place, Andrew Mraz out of East Lansing, Michigan from Lowline Racing. Had a great race going, has had a few incidents here tonight, but has recovered well and continues to soldier on, running inside your top 5 in that 4th spot. Last driver in your top 5. There you can see him on screen heading up through the uphill S's, piloting his Toyota Supra towards the front of the field, Tommy Haynes. Just behind Haynes, you can find that 33 City Chevrolet, piloted by Terry Kahn. Driver running in the 7th position. There you can see the 00 of Nick Hunt trying to get his Depends sponsored Toyota Supra up in a top spot. Struggling just a little bit here with just 14 laps remaining, but 14 laps at a road course, that is a ton of time to make up a ton of time. Jason Ayerson right there in the 8th spot. Driver out of JB Motorsports, sponsored by Dragon's Garden and Pure Inc. That 44 machine looking to try to make his way up through the field. Just a few more spots, sitting now in the 8th spot. Familiar man, familiar car, familiar paint scheme. That's right, it's the Cheerwine 56 Toyota Supra, piloted by John Wimbish running in the 9th spot and rounding out your top 10. There you can see him, the 82 Black Rifle Coffee sponsored driver, trying to put his Ford Mustang up into the 9th spot, just gain that one more spot as he goes side by side with Wimbish up through the S's. Wimbish going to go ahead and give, and Franklin will take that spot away. Your pole sitter dominant car through the first half of tonight's race. There you see the heavy damage on that machine after some hard impact between himself and Andrew Mraz. He got slammed into the Armco safer bear, or it's not a safer barrier, the Armco guardrail basically, and that has pretty much destroyed that 51. Now he gets loose and around he goes. So Mueller's night from bad to worse through the carousel. We'll jump back. Here's the driver sitting in the 11th spot, Jonathan Cogswell, making his way through the carousel. Casey Duncan in the 18 machine from Seattle, Washington, slotting into 12th position. Gary Wells just behind them. There you can see that 24 heading towards that bus stop chicane. And man, that does it for the driver sitting on the lead lap. Michael Mueller, he has made his way back off of pit road after being towed. Multiple drivers down multiple laps here tonight. We started tonight's race with 21 drivers on the starting grid. We have still got looks like about 19 drivers still running on the track, but only 10 drivers left on the lead lap, and I believe we may have some fuel saving going on at the front of this field. Sounds like your race leader may be clutching, maybe playing with that throttle and cutting the car off. Tell you what, let's take a listen inside. We'll ride around the track one time with your race leader, John Furness. Furness going to make his way through the final turn here, head down the front stretch, and we'll run a lap here with your race leader. And there you can hear it absolutely out of the gas, pushing in that clutch. Able to still get the car woed up, get it powered back up without any issues. That is a heck of a job of fuel conservation and fuel saving here. And you can hear how easy he was changing gears there. Very easy into that 4th gear, and there you can see him once again on the clutch, popping it back out into gear, still keeping it wound up, still keeping it going in the right direction. Has a ton of time to give up, and again pushing in the clutch down through the gears, closing in on the back end of that 56 of John Wimbish, and that is a ride around the Glen with your race leader, John Furness, saving gas, clutching, trying to make passes, trying to do it all here tonight from that cockpit, and what a night it's been for Furness as he makes his way around John Wimbish. Wimbish not going to put up a fight out at all in that Cheer Wine sponsored Toyota Supra. Rear end of that one machine looks like it's been beat on just a little bit. The Halvoline looks to be caved in slightly, but he doesn't seem to mind. He doesn't seem to care, as he enjoys a 6.8 second race advantage over Austin Hill. Lee Staples sitting now in the 3rd spot, almost 30 seconds back behind your race leader. That is nuts. 35 seconds behind your race leader runs the 3rd place driver, and only your top 4 are within 1 minute of your race leader. John Furness has absolutely set a blistering pace after the contact between Andrew Mraz and Michael Mueller. That set Mueller flying, that sent Mraz flying. And unfortunately, Michael Mueller's day has come to an end. So your pole sitter not having as good of a finish as he had. A start, qualified on the pole, led a handful of laps, upwards of 22 laps before he came to pit road, gave up that race lead off of pit road, and that is where it all went downhill for the 51 of Michael Mueller here tonight. Tough break for him, but fortunate break for the driver right there. Man leading tonight's race, making his way close to a back marker, gonna make his way by with some pretty good ease there. He's gonna get by Brandon Freeze. Freeze gonna fall yet another lap down on the field here tonight. Freeze sitting 12 laps down. Looking to see if we can see any battles at all. And what has happened to Lee Staples? Staples with an issue and coming to pit road. Oh my goodness. What has happened to Staples? What has happened to Terry Khan? Khan having an issue and coming to pit road. He's had an off-track excursion. I tell you what, let's see what happened here to Khan. Oh, and contact with the 21, and into that retaining wall goes the 33 of Terry Khan. That's going to pretty much put an end to his night. Stephen Ayers Jr. also having an issue. And just not able to get the car turned there into turn number 1. Was Stephen Ayers Jr. will rejoin the race live back at the front of the field as your race leader John Furness in the 1 machine continues to put these drivers a lap down. Now just 8 cars remaining on the lead lap, and they are in some danger because your race leader is right here closing in. Mike Furness closes in on Mike Franklin. Running in the 8th spot, Jason Ayrson not too far off in front of Franklin. There you can see those drivers, Lee Staples, Jason Ayrson, lined up just in front of your race leader, battling it out up through the S's. There you can see him now as we switch the cameras up here with Lee Staples in that 5 machine. He'll head off into the bus stop chicane. And if your race leader can somehow make his way by these 3 cars, doesn't look like he'll work his way into any more lap traffic. And just look at the distance. Look at the timing distance between your race leader and the 2nd place runner, Austin Hill, in that Toyota Super 16 machine. 11 seconds behind your race leader, John Furness, as Furness makes his way by yet another car here tonight. He's going to put Mike Franklin down a lap, and Furness continues his pace at the front of the field, almost 2 seconds faster than the rest of the field that last time by. We'll check timing and scoring as he comes by this time, but absolutely dominating the stopwatch inside that Havoline 1 machine. There you see him making the pass on Jason Ayrson. That's going to put Ayrson down 1 lap as we watch from afar through this uphill chicane section. And Lee Staples will be the next victim to go 1 lap down if your race leader can close the distance and get there in time with 6 laps remaining. Going to be very tough to get back up to Furness for Hill. Now 14 seconds behind your race leader, and that is just lap after lap how much faster Furnace is that last time by. Looks like exactly 1 second, or I should say 0.8 of a second faster, so still just lightning quick. Back through turn number 9, now heading towards the final turn, number 10. He'll make that right-hand turn, come back to the line. Flagman got the high five out there, waving to Furnace. 5 laps to go here tonight in the Glen 40 for the RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Here for Swift Motorsports live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And if you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by, whether you're just casually stopping through or the dedicated race fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So go ahead and drop these drivers a thumbs up for all the great road course action they have provided, or at least give your race leader a giant thumbs up, because he has just absolutely put a whooping on the field here tonight. 15-second race advantage with just 4 laps to go when he crosses the line this time. That Havoline machine looks like it is heading to victory lane. And I wonder how many sounds he is hearing inside of that cockpit right now. What is running through his head this close to a dominating race win? Laps closing out. Huge race advantage. Got to protect that machine. We'll jump back now with a battle for a spot on track. Nick Hunt, he is right there breathing down the neck of Tommy Haynes. Haynes right there coming through the bus stop chicane. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't take a look back. If I can hit the right camera, we may get it there. Nope, we're on the inside. There you go, a little look-see down the right side of that 17 machine at Tommy Haynes, looking back at Nick Hunt. Hunt closing in right there in turn number 9. He is all over him. A look back from the top side of Tommy Haynes' Budweiser Zero Toyota Supra. And Nick Hunt just not able to get there, not able to pull that pass off. Looks like he'll have to wait a few. Oh, and way up the hill goes Haynes. That's going to give that top spot away. No. Looks like not losing the spot after all. Nick Hunt had some trouble getting through turn number 1 as well. So both of those drivers with some trouble getting through turn number 1. And my goodness, that is your race leader. Your race leader is closing in on putting our 5th place runner, Nick Hunt, down a lap. Very few laps remaining here. Torrent pace at the front of this field. Last time by, your race leader ran a 1:16.99. Closest man to him, ooh, that is a 1:18.68. So almost 2 seconds faster than the next fastest driver on track that time by. Furnace is in another zip code. Battle still going on right here as Nick Hunt tries to make his way up around that 17 piloted by Tommy Haynes. And both of these drivers just trying to stay on the lead lap. And it does look like your race leader giving up a little bit of time here on Lap number 39 out of the 40 scheduled in the official race distance. Popsicle sticks last time by for that one machine piloted by John Furness, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to do anything. He's going to have to crash this thing to not walk away with the victory here tonight. But can Nick Hunt somehow track down and get around the driver sitting inside of that 17 as a back marker moves to the inside out of the racing line? Blue flags displayed. He'll move on out the way, and there goes the 17 back down the front stretch. He's got Nick Hunt still breathing down his neck, but it's final lap. White flag for your race leader, John Furness. And as Furness has such a commanding lead, we'll go back to this battle right here. See if somehow Nick Hunt can't make this pass. He'll have one more lap to try it here. These drivers still have to come around to take lap number 40. Your race leader, John Furness, has already begun his final lap. Just a handful of seconds back there. You can see him. Oh, Nick Hunt with some trouble getting into the bus stop chicane. He'll lose some ground through the carousel. Your race leader, John Furness, now making his way through the carousel just behind them, and that may be it. Nick Hunt may have given up too much ground to try to get up there and battle for that fourth spot. He may be just stuck right there in that final spot in the top 5. Last driver scored on the lead lap as your race leader heads into the final turn for the final time back down the front stretch, coming to the checkered flag. Your race winner, dominating tonight here at Watkins Glen International Raceway, that Valvoline Texaco Motor Oil machine piloted by John Furness. Man, that was a heck of a race for Furness. We'll jump to this battle because they're still racing, folks. They've still got to come all the way back around into the line. Tommy Haynes, Nick Hunt, Lee Staples still battling on track. Now Hunt looks to the outside. He's going to take that spot. And falling all the way out of the top 5, Lee Staples, he's going to lose another spot. Haynes going to lose another spot as Staples makes his way by into the bus stop chicane, and I think Haynes may be out of gas. Haynes is out of gas. Running out of fuel. Will he make it back to the line? Oh my. There you see him very slow in that Toyota Supra, stretching the fuel as much as he could, but not enough to get back to the line. Haynes gonna drop from grace from inside the top 5, now back in the 6th spot. Nick Hunt working his way off of turn 4, making the pass through the backstretch chicane. Hunt gonna finish 4th. Staples rounds out your top 5. Heck of a race finish. As there you see your race winner just kind of chilling, hanging out a little bit right there just before the bus stop chicane. Man, what a race. Whew. Great road course racing action here tonight from Watkins Glen International Raceway for race number 5 in season number 2 for Swift Motorsports here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. With all that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Get things set for your post-race interview, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Backtrack side here tonight at Watkins Glen International Raceway at the conclusion of race number 5 in season number 2 for the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. And let's see if we can't catch in and have a few words with the driver walking away in that final podium spot. Walking away in the third place here tonight, driver sitting inside of that 28 machine, Andrew Mraz. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, Dave. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, my man?
Pretty good. Finished P3, qualified P2, Watkins Glen, road racing. Love it.
Absolutely. And you were involved in some pretty exciting spots here tonight. 3 wide at 2 different occasions at the front of the field. That is not something you see at the Glen very, very often. Unfortunately, had a little bit of trouble there. Hard impact, hard crash there. Coming up through the S's. Walk us through some of your race, though. How exciting was it to know you were 3 wide?
I kind of had a break in my pants for that moment. I'm like, no, 3 wide never at Watkins Glen. It's too tight. There's too many bumps. It's too technical of a track to even go 3 wide, let alone 2 wide through the S's. The car was pretty loose on throttle going through there. If you tried to gas it up at the wrong time, you would spin out. But yeah, it was overall fun. The other incident, I don't remember much, but the one with Mueller and John and myself, I remember very well, and that's not going to happen again.
Well, I mentioned a little bit of a race incident that pretty much tore the front end off of that machine. How damaged was the car after that hard impact?
First half of the race, I was running mid 16s, low high 15s. Then after the damage, I was running 17 seconds or minute 17s, minute 18s. So it added a second or 2 to my time.
Okay, so I mean it was bad, but not too bad considering.
No, I mean it added a lot more downforce, so you got to run off the corners, but on the long straightaways and stuff, you were just sitting there. It wasn't going much faster or anything like that.
Absolutely. Well, Andrew, congratulations on a great race run. Even though you had some incidents and had some trouble here tonight, still able to walk away from the track in the 3rd spot here, rounding out the podium tonight. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 28?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lowline Racing for sponsoring the vehicle. You for broadcasting turn 3. SwiftMotorSports for putting on the league. Mueller, sorry for getting into you after getting bumped going into the S's and stuff. But other than that, I had fun. I like to thank my teammates as well.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on a great podium spot here tonight. And we look forward to catching up with you next week at Iowa.
I'm looking forward to it.
There you have it. Final few words from the driver finishing in the final podium spot here tonight. Driver inside of that 28 machine from Michigan, Andrew Mraz. That's going to lead us to the driver that walked away in the 2nd spot here tonight. Let's see if we can't catch in a word or two with Austin Hill inside of that 16 machine. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, my man. Well, talking to you once again for the 2nd time in a row. 2nd time in a row here. 2nd place. Matches your 2 wins of the season. How was the race here tonight at the road course?
It was pretty good. I mean, I did everything I wanted to do tonight. I wanted to run inside the top 5 all night, and try to finish somewhere in the top 3 if I could. A few of the guys had some issues. I think I was probably about 4th place car. At times I could be a 3rd place car, but I just started making some little bit of mistakes here and there. So there at the end of the race, we were close on fuel, so I just started letting the leader get out, and I was kind of hoping that the leader was going to run out of fuel there the last couple corners, and I could pounce on it. So that's kind of why he got so far out ahead, as I was just kind of riding around, just trying to bide my time, and I had such a lead on third place. I didn't want to push the issue any. So it was a really good night for our iHeart Radio Supra. You always want more. You always want the win. I love road course racing, so I had a lot of fun tonight. And you know, I like these road courses, so we could definitely do more in the future. Um, yeah, it was a nice solid night. Didn't have any damage, and came home with a nice solid finish.
Absolutely. Another great finish here. A solid second place once again. Looking forward to next time we hit the track, though. Iowa Speedway. What a contrast in racetracks. I mean, we were at Chicago. Now we're at the Glen here tonight, finishing up here tonight. Then we head to Iowa. What's your thoughts going towards that short track that's kind of modeled, kind of runs a little bit similar to Richmond?
Well, I get around Richmond very well, so I think I can run really well at Iowa. Iowa's one of those tracks that you can run some different lines. Early in the race, I think the bottom's going to be key, but I think that as the race goes on, you can see guys moving up to the second and even the third lane. So I've had some success at Iowa in the past on iRacing, so I'm actually very excited to get to Iowa. Don't exactly know how the car's going to handle yet or anything, but hopefully it starts out a little on the free side. That way us drivers can really manhandle these cars, and I think it'll put it in the driver's hands a lot more if it's a little free to start with. That way we can kind of move around and have more maneuverability. If you start the race off on the tight side, then I think it's going to be kind of maybe one lane racing. You're going to see guys kind of moving up the racetrack as the run goes on, and it's going to be hard to pass on the bottom. So, but I'm really excited for Iowa. I think it's a shot that I can go out there and get another win. So I'm excited to see what I can do.
All right, Austin. Well, once again, congratulations on a great second place finish here tonight. Solid second once again. Back-to-back nights, second places. So good, solid finishes all around so far this week for you here in Swift Motorsports. But before we let you go and enjoy this second place, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
Yeah, I want to give a big thank you to iHeartRadio. That car looked really sharp tonight. First night of me running it. So wish I could have got a win for them on the first night, but seconds. If you're gonna lose, then seconds the next place you want to be. So yeah, I thought it was a really solid night. Everybody at Forex Racing. We had a little bit of a rough night tonight. These road courses, they can go one or two ways. You can have a good night or you can have a really bad night. So but everybody at Forex Racing works really hard, so excited for these next couple races. I think we can run pretty well, and a lot of our Forex guys can run inside the top 10 and have a shot at top fives here at this next week when we go to Iowa. So really excited, really thankful for everything that Swift Motorsports does for us, and yeah, it's been a blast so far.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week at Iowa.
Appreciate it.
There you have it. Final words from the driver walking away in the second spot here tonight inside that 16 Toyota Supra, Austin Hill. That's going to lead us to the man that walked away with the victory, walking away in dominant fashion here tonight. Driver sitting inside that one machine, John Furness. Is Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I got you.
Hey, man, a heck of a race win, dominating fashion. After some contact between some competition, you just walked off into the sunset. 16-second advantage when you cross the line. Man, that's getting it done.
Yeah. We were smooth tonight. Had a good car. It's all about saving tires and definitely saving fuel. Just trying to make it run till the end and have a good balance between going fast enough and saving enough fuel.
Now, I'm going to admit we sneakily slid into the cockpit with one of our onboard cameras and heard you saving that fuel. How much fuel did you really have to save to make it on that last run?
A lot. So about a lap's worth, I'd say. Because when I pitted the first time, I stretched it as far as I could, and we were just one lap short of halfway, I knew I was going to have to do a full lap extra. And it's really hard to save fuel. I mean, I kept trying to take it out of gear and coast, but that, that takes away some of the engine brake that the car naturally has, and it was it wasn't easy for sure. And I ran out right at the start finish line coming to the checker flag there. So it would have been a lot tougher had I had to race someone the entire time. But a couple of those guys got tangled up behind me, and we were just free to drive into the sunset.
Well, John, I mentioned it to one of the other podium finishers here tonight, the 28 of Andrew Mraz. You were involved with those 3 wide situations twice, 3 wide here at the Glen. How crazy is it to hear your spotter say 3 wide?
Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, that was pretty difficult. I wish it would have gone differently. I feel bad for Michael who got caught up in that behind us there, but I came out of the pits ahead of Michael, and I wanted to stay there as much as I could and try and save fuel at the same time. Because he and I were on the same strategy. I think Andrew had pitted a little bit before, so he was on a 2-stopper anyway. But we came out right behind him on fresh tires, and we were looking to gain some ground and put some distance in between us and the rest of the field, and I guess he didn't really want to give up that lead. So we came off the final corner there and had a little bit of 3 wide going. I think I got in the back of Andrew. I didn't mean to, and then Michael got in the back of me, and it was kind of like one of those accordion effect deals where we all hit each other there. And then coming down into one, I just decided I was gonna try and shoot the inside and have the inside going up the hill, and somebody would probably have to lift, and that's exactly what happened. And we made it up the hill there, and I think Andrew had a little too much throttle on that last S or something. I don't know what happened. I just saw him spinning behind me and took out Michael. So I hate to see that, but it made it pretty easy on me for the rest of the run. The pressure was off at that point. It was just trying to save fuel and make it to the end.
Indeed, the pressure was definitely off after that point in time in the race. But looking now at the point standings, looking at the victory lane here, or the winners column, I should say, you're the 4th driver in 5 races to visit victory lane here in the RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. Is it that tough to get to victory lane here in this Xfinity Series, and how do you look forward to not just Iowa but the rest of the schedule as we move forward?
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, I like running all these tracks. I'd say Iowa's probably not near the top of my favorites list, but it's been real tough. I mean, we've had a shot to win all of these, but couldn't really put it together because something always seems to happen. It's hard to win any of these races on here, and I feel pretty lucky that we were able to bring it home tonight and finally get one in the W column and get some points back. I think we missed last week, so I'm sure we fell down the standings quite a bit, but we'll keep clawing them back week by week here.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on a great race win, walking away in victory lane for the first time so far this season. Heck of a job out there, my man. Before we will let you go and celebrate the rest of the night away, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that one?
Yeah, man, I'd like to firstly thank you guys for the broadcast and the admins for putting this deal together. It's a lot of fun to race here. And I'd like to thank my fellow teammates over at North Force Racing and our sponsors. We got Next Level Racing, Blaze Pizza, Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, and Butt Kicker Gamer. So if you don't have a butt kicker, go check those out. They add a lot of realism to the sim racing experience. So yeah, that's all we got. We'll be back next week to try again.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on a great race run, and we'll look forward to catching up with you in Iowa.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.
There you have it. Final parting words from your race winner. Inside of that one machine from Michigan, John Furness. getting the job done here tonight in supreme fashion after contact between a few of his fellow competitors. 3 wide between those 3 drivers on 2 different occasions. Unfortunately, didn't turn out so well for 2 drivers, but fortunately, Furness capitalizing on their mishap is what we'll label that one as. Just a little mishap up through the S's. Very tight, very troublesome to try to make your way through going 2 or 3 wide up through the S's. Just unfortunately ended badly for a few of the drivers out there tonight. For the first time this season, drivers turning left and right, and we got the job done in outstanding fashion here tonight. It looks like the producers have already hit those music buttons, so you know what that means, race fans. It's time to run down your unofficial race results. Walking away with the race win here in victory lane for Swift Motorsports RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series, the Glen 40, the one of John Furness. Piloting that 16 Machine Toyota Supra to the 2nd spot, Austin Hill. Andrew Mraz gonna round out your podium spots here tonight. The 00 of Nick Hunt. Walking away in 4th, Lee Staples rounds out your top 5. Tommy Haynes going from the track in 6th, and 7th is the 44 of Jason Ayrson. The 82 of Mike Franklin slotting home in 8th. 9th place goes to the 56 of John Wimbish. Jonathan Cogswell finishes in the 10th spot. 11th goes to Terry Kahn. Gary Wells in 12th. 13th spot goes to 20 of Nigel Christensen. And Casey Duncan gonna finish in 14th. 15th spot goes to the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. in your pole sitter, your race leader for half of the race here tonight. Driver inside of that 51 machine, Michael Mueller, had some late race trouble. In a round, he went and out of the race. 14 laps down, finishing in the 16th position. The 21 of Brandon Fries finishes in the 17th spot. 18th goes to Edward Bray. '19th on track here tonight, the 10 of David Cameron. Jim Ott in the 4 gonna finish in the 20th spot. Michael Atkins Jr. in the 41 with some race trouble, flipping on the front stretch. Atkins Jr. gonna walk away from the track in the final spot here tonight. Scored in the 21st finishing position. Big tip of the cap and a shout out to your race control here tonight from Watkins Glen International Raceway. Don Kidder himself up in the booth, making sure everything rolls smoothly here from the Glen, and it sure did. What a race we had tonight, race fans. Glad you could all stay with us. Glad you could all join us all night long. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. With that being said, we're going to start to roll up the cords, get things ready to head over to Iowa for next week's RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series race. With that being said, race fans, stay safe, stay loved, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.